أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على ما لا نبي بعده سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحابه ومن اهتدى بهداهم إلى يوم الدين فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي لا تؤاخذني مما يقولون واغفر لي ما لا يعلمون واجعلني خيرا مما يظنون أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to the house of Dua and welcome to another blessed day of Jumu'ah in the year 1446 after the Hijrah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Welcome to the channel from which we learn about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about His creation, about His message, about His messenger, and of course, about His chosen religion known as Al-Islam. Welcome to the channel from which we learn how to live and be happy in the world we live today and how to return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for greater happiness and success on the day of accountability. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, welcome to the month of Rabiul Awwal. The month of Rabiul Awwal is the third month of the Islamic calendar. It is the month in which the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam was born. Although there is no consensus on the exact day the Prophet was born in the month of Rabiul Awwal, but majority opinion agree that it was on the 12th of Rabiul Awwal he was born. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, this month therefore is a unique month for all of us. Yes, we are encouraged in Islam, actually commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to send honors, greetings, and salutations upon the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. In Surah Al-Hazab, Allah says, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhim wa sallimu taslim. Allah and the angels with him, they send their honors and greetings and salutations upon the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, Abdul Khaliq wa Akram, the best of Allah's creations and the most honored of Allah's messengers. Therefore, you who are believers, who follow the example of the Prophet, should also send your greetings and honor and salutations upon the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. There can be no better time to do that than this month of the year, the month known as Rabiul Awwal. It's true that we remember him in our worships every day as well as in all activities in Islam. But this is a moment for us to even intensify that remembrance. Today, I want to share with you something unique. It is the goal of every Muslim, especially those who have knowledge, the ulama, to dream of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. So I want to start by asking you a question. Have you ever dreamt of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam? It's important for us to aim at this, to aspire to dream of the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Because the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam by himself says, whoever sees me in the sleep through dreams will definitely see me in the wake. What that means, therefore, is the Prophet is no longer alive physically. But if you were to see him in the sleep, there is a very likelihood that you will see him alive in Jannah. In other words, dreaming of him is a ticket to Jannah. Let me ask you a question. You know, how would you have felt if you were born at the time of the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam? What role would you have played seeing him and relating with him? Unfortunately, many of us were not privileged to be at that time. So if I were there, and I think same thing with you, if you had had the opportunity to greet the prophet physically, shake hands with him, pray behind him, eat with him, and strive with him for the future and progress of Islam, I'm sure you would have been very excited. We didn't have that privilege. But there are many ways we can put ourselves in that shoes today. And one of them is by remembering the Prophet Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wasallam every day of our lives, and especially this month of Rabiul Awwal. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, today I'm going to share with you what you need to do in order to dream of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wasallam. Something I did, which today I'm still cherishing, I'm still enjoying it, and I wish I can repeat it several times over and over again. And that is dreaming of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wasallam. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, the Prophet made it clear in the Hadith that if you truly see him in the sleep, you will see him in the wake. In any dream in which a righteous Muslim sees the Prophet in the sleep, the Prophet says there's no doubt about that dream, that the dream will be a reality. That is because he, like every other messenger of Allah, cannot be faked by the shaitan. He was in the sleep in the form of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wasallam. Would you like to dream of the Prophet, therefore? I hope so. There are three major sources of dreams. Bushra min Allah. Good news from Allah. Allah could manifest dreams through any of his creatures, Muslims or non-Muslims. Dreams that, if properly interpreted, would be a good guidance for mankind. Remember the dreams of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam when he was asked to offer his son as sacrifice. Remember the dream of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam when he saw himself returning back to Makkah. لقد صدق الله رسوله وروح يا بالحق لا تدخلن المسجد الحرام إن شاء الله آمنين. That dream came out to be true. Remember the dream of the king of Egypt seeing 7 lame cows eating 7 fat cows. He also dreamt of seeing 7 fresh cups of corn and 7 dry cups of corn. And he needed interpretation. Yusuf alayhi salam interpreted that dream to him. So dreams can be manifested in different ways by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to people. Allah says, وَمَا كَانَ لِبَشَرٍ أَن يُكَلِّمَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا وَحْيًا أَوْ مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ. That's from Surah Ashura, chapter 42 of the Quran. Allah says it's not fitting for a man to see Allah direct, face to face. But Allah could send inspiration to any person behind the veil, such as sleep, and He could send it through a messenger by way of revelation. This is how messages came to the Anbiya of Allah, especially to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala. In the same surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Sanurihim ayatina fil anfaqi wa fi anfusihim hatta yatabayana lahum annahu al-haqq. We shall continue to manifest our signs to them from within them and from far away from them until it becomes clear to them that this message is true. So it is possible for Allah to send some information or inspiration to any of his human beings through the dreams. But there are other dreams that come to us through the shaitan. They are known as evil dreams. Such dreams are scary. They are usually very frightful. About dunya, fire, drowning, fighting, shedding of blood. All this can appear to you in the sleep. Satan can inspire them. And it can fake another human being to be oppressing you in the sleep, so that when you wake up, you become the enemy of that person. That's why you have to be very careful about the dreams. such as that. When you see them, the Prophet says, seek refuge in Allah. The hadith narrated by Abu Musa, the Prophet says, if you see a good dream, then give thanks to Allah. If you see a bad dream, seek refuge in Allah. There are certain steps He has prescribed for us to take in that regard. Another source of dreams is the preoccupation of our hearts, the ramblings of our inner hearts. There are several kinds of dreams that can result from this, good or bad. In some cases, all dreams are disjointed. As soon as you wake up, you forget. But the good ones among them, you will remember. These are the dreams that come as a result of your obsession with something you love so much. Something you are so deeply involved in. You think about it every time. It resonates in your heart every time. The likelihood is that when you sleep, you will think about that thing. It could be your wife, it could be anybody, it could be a thing. And that's the kind of dream that we can experience. We can be privileged with when we dream of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. So if you want to dream of the Prophet, therefore, the starting point is for you to let all matters relating to him occupy your heart. More than anything else, that's the beginning of planning to dream of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. Do you love the Prophet? Do you love his family? Do you love being his follower? How much do you know about him? How much do you think about him every day? This is what will make you dream of the Prophet. I'm going to suggest to you some of the things that will facilitate this for you, as it did for me. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Let's consider the issue of thinking about the Prophet as a prerequisite for dreaming about the Prophet. If you want to sincerely dream about the Prophet, you have to let his matter be in your mind all the time. That means you have to be very, very serious with remembering the Prophet through dhikr. Or you remember the Prophet through tafakkur, meditation about him. Think about his life, how he was born. As an orphan, for example. If you are an orphan, imagine the challenges you are facing. If you are not an orphan, imagine the challenges that orphans face in today's world. Think about his life as a young boy. Even at a very early age, he was so trusted and reliable that they call him Sadiq al-Amin. Think about his youth when he got so well loved by many to the extent that a rich, wealthy woman known as Khadija radiallahu anha offered her hand to him in marriage. And he accepted that offer in spite of the age difference. He was 25, Khadija was 40. And yet, through that marriage, he proved it to us that when it comes to loving, age is not a barrier. Think about the Prophet when the verses started coming to him at Cave Hira. Who could it have been like at that time when the angel came to him? Ekera, باسم ربك الذي خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. Verses that transformed the Prophet from being an ummi, an unlettered person, to be the most knowledgeable creature Allah had ever created. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, think about that. Think about the challenges he faced when he was spreading the message. Think about the boycott against him and his family. Think about the stigmatization, the insult, the indignation he had to face. Think about the physical attack against him at Taif. He got bloodied. Think about the attack at the Battle of Uhud. Again, he got bloodied by the enemies of Islam. Think about the battles after battles that he had to go through. And think about the trials and tribulations that he had to go through as an individual. Think about that year known as Amun Hazan. That is the year of grief for him. The year he lost his uncle, lost his wife, lost his son. That was a terrible year for him. Think about what you went through at that time. When all these things occupy your mind every day of your life, the likelihood is that one day you will dream about the Prophet. Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. My dear brothers, my dear sisters. Second thing I recommend for you to do if you seriously wish to dream of the Prophet is to learn to do zikr. Not only zikr by Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. In addition to that, zikr by nasheeds, singing about the Prophet, bringing out your inner feelings about the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And that is why I'm bringing this book to you. This is a book known as Tahamis al-Wasa il-Mutakabbal fi Madai Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It's all about praises for the Prophet. It's all about singing about him, loving him. Ohebo nabeya li hashimi ya Muhammad. Ohebo nabeya hashimi ya Muhammad. Allahumma ya Rabbi salli ala Muhammad. Ohebo nabeya hashimi ya Muhammad. Khalila yawja bili mu'asabi wadi. Ohebo nabeya li hashimi ya Muhammad. Oja biayate mati kunakana Ohebo nabeya hashimi ya Muhammad. Bakari fazama kana rasulu imam Ohebo nabeya hashimi ya Muhammad. Bakari fazama naba wata fawazawa Ohebo nabeya hashimi ya Muhammad. Jarayeruna tumuha bijaye Muhammad. Ohebo nabeya ni hashimi ya Muhammad. Awakula majade lenebara wajanana. Ohebo nabeya ni hashimi ya Muhammad. These are the things you need to allow occupy your mind if you look forward to dreaming of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. And when you see him in your dream, you will see him in Jannah. My dear brother, my dear sister, the third thing I need to introduce to you, if you truly love to see the Prophet in the dream, is this book. This book is known as Dalailul Khairat, the pathways to every goodness, the pathways to the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is a book, the beginning of it to the end of it is about asking Allah to bless the Holy Prophet Muhammad. In response to the verse in Surah Al-Ahzab, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allah and his angels send greetings and honor upon the Prophet. You who are believers should send similar greetings upon him. And they asked the Prophet, how do we do that, Ya Rasulullah? He told us, just say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim. Innaka hamidun. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim. Innaka hamidun. That dua, the expansion of that dua in various ramifications, in words, in sentences, in ayahs, in letters, in statements, are what this book is all about from the beginning to the end. Asking Allah, bless Muhammad. Asking Allah, elevate Muhammad. Asking Allah, join me with Muhammad. If you continue to read this book, the likelihood is that you will dream of the Prophet. When I was a little boy, my father introduced me to this book and said I should read it regularly. But I never really took it very serious until sometime 2013. Something happened, and I decided to read the book, page to page, for a certain period of time, asking Allah to bless the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, occupying my mind with the book. But guess what? After reciting this Dalailul Khairat, I slept and I saw a dream in which I saw the Prophet Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wasallam in a plain area, mountains on both sides. In the midday, a little bit dusty, but cool. In the large gathering of people, he came down on a white horse, himself wearing very white clothes. Went straight to me, offered his hand in greetings. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Prophet Muhammad. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In that sleep, I saw myself open my mouth. Ohebo nabiya li hashimi yamu. Ohebo nabiya hashimi yamu. Ojabi ayati mati kunakana. Ohebo nabiya hashimi yamu. Just as I was rehearsing that, it was gone. My dear brothers, my dear sisters. A few days later, a friend of mine came and said he had an opportunity he was pursuing. But he had a very slim chance of getting that opportunity because people who were better and stronger and more positioned than him were also interested in the same opportunity. So he needed dua. We made dua for him. And as Allah would wish, he got the opportunity. In return, he came to me and said, "Ya Sheikh, I'm going to compensate you with something amazing. I'm going to pay for you to go for Umrah." He paid the ticket for me to go to Umrah. Because I didn't want to go alone, I had to pay for my wife to follow me. So, we enjoyed the Umrah. When I stepped into the Masjid Nabawi in Medina, and I saw the mausoleum of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, his grave, something touched me. I realized the dream I had about the Prophet. Then when we go to the plains of Uhud, where the Battle of Uhud was fought, I saw the plain land exactly in the same manner I saw it in the dream. A little bit dusty, calm, with a lot of people who were visiting the place, but who was not there physically. Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whom I saw previously in the dream. And inshallah, I look forward to seeing him in Jannah. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, I therefore recommend for you to go for this book. Go for it. Find time to read it. It's very beneficial. By way of summary, therefore, 3 steps you need to take if you want to dream of the Prophet. May Allah make it possible for you to dream of him. Number 1, develop the habit of thinking, meditating about him. Number 2, learn to do nasheed, glorification, songs of love for the Holy Prophet Muhammad. There are several books about that. Number 3, read the Dalailul Khairat regularly. We ask Allah to make us good Muslims. But you cannot be a good Muslim when you are found in the marketplace, when you are found spreading false information, when you are found contesting the materialism of this life in politics, in business, and so on and so forth. And the Prophet will not appear to you in your dream when you go to sleep in such a careless and impure manner. Good dreams do not manifest to people who are not righteous. Good dreams come to people who are righteous. That's why the Prophet, in the hadith narrated by Anas bin Malik, says having such dreams is 46th part of prophethood, dreams that appear to righteous people. So if you truly want to dream of the Prophet, you also have to be mindful of how you go to sleep. Many of us go to bed with our heart full of animosities against people or pursuit of materialism. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, let's ask Allah to grant us good dreams, especially dreams in which we see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma ya Rabbi salli ala Muhammad wa nabiyya hashimi ya Muhammad wa sayyidi saadati nabiyyi Muhammad wa nabiyya hashimi ya Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah join us with him in Jannah. on the day of accountability. Hapana tabami na inaka hanta semena le matuba ale na ya malana. Inaka hanta ndio kwa mkeni wana la obiamdi wana kala obiamdi mashara la ila hanta na sefuka na tuwele kambi.